Well, good morning. It is Tuesday, October 22nd, 115th day out. And it's Tuesday. Just getting started. It is 11 o'clock. Oh my God, I can't get going in the morning. It's so cold. Well, it ended up, it didn't freeze last night. But when I got to camp, and in the next 3 hours, probably was the coldest part of the whole night. So I got my tent, I was freezing. And I was so tired, I went to sleep. Or tried to take a little nap. I slept for an hour, and I got up. No, I didn't get up, I just rolled over in my quilt, and I cooked dinner. I don't even know what time it was probably 9:30. Cooked a hot dinner, made hot chocolate, and warmed up a little bit. Then went back to bed. I woke up about, I don't know, just guessing 1 or 2 in the morning to use the bathroom, and actually it was warmer. And then this morning, it was actually warmer than last night. I'm talking about like 6 in the morning. But another late start, and I need to do 15. I don't know if that's gonna happen now. Oh, I know it's not. Hell, day's gone, and this is gonna be a tough day, tougher than yesterday. I have 3 72, 73, 7400 foot mountain climbs. But I mean, they're only gonna be, I think I'm climbing the rest of this mountain right now. It goes up to 74. I was at 71 last night. But then these mountains take you down 1,000 feet. And then you climb the next one up to 72. So I got 3 1,200 foot climbs today. And looking at gut hooks, looks like I'm gonna be camping on top again. Just don't have any choice. Now, I don't know how far, but not tomorrow, but the day after. I think it levels out a little more. Won't have these big climbs. And as I mentioned yesterday, ooh, the sun's bright. I've decided to go ahead and end the hike this year, Sunday. I got to send a text out to Don and tell him I'm good with that. It's just not enough light and too darn cold. And I'm not going to be able to finish it anyway. So I'm going to try to get I'm going to get to Dunsmuir, which is about 1,160 miles of the trail, and come back next fall and finish the second half. I am in the Russian wilderness. It started right at the top of this mountain, and it's part of the Klamath Forest. So I've got to at least do 12 today, because if Don can come get me Sunday, I mean, that's when I plan on getting to Dunsmuir, and that was a push anyway, because it was 108 miles from Etna to get to Dunsmuir, and it's tough. It's a tough trail. I ended up doing 14 yesterday, and it just exhausted me. All those mountain climbs, and then I had to climb this big boy to camp last night. So I didn't show my tent or nothing because it was pitch dark, pitch black when I got done. But I did take a video. Actually, it was a nice camp spot, but it was right on top of the mountain. But it had, my arms kill me. Had trees all around me, and it wasn't very windy anyway. So I'm gonna get to hiking. I'm super late. Got to stop up here at a spring in about a mile, and of course it's off trail to get water, and then there's not water again. This section today's kind of doesn't have a lot of water. I think the next water source is 6-7 miles away. But this is a pretty area. A lot of rocks, pine tree. This is what I pictured California being like. I mean, that's the trail down there. Rocks, pine trees. Pretty cool. So I ended up last night at mile 1067 to get to that tent site. And actually it's going to be warmer today, I believe. You're in the sun, it's nice. A little chilly right now in the shade. But I do have shorts on, and I just have my little wind jacket on, which I'm sure as soon as I get in the open area, that'll be coming off. So, gonna get to hiking, and I'll show you the scenery. Well, I'm about to reach the top of the mountain. 7,400 feet in elevation. Like I said, I have 3 of these today. This one I only had to climb 300 feet though. And I got a new view. I was talking to a local in Etna about the cows in Northern California, and he was telling me that the ranchers transport the cows in the spring up into the mountains and let them out, let them go. They all have cowbells on, and they stay in these mountains spring, summer, fall, and as winter approaches, which is now, they make their own way back to the ranch. And they've been doing this for generations. And because I haven't seen since before Etna, I saw some and they were all kind of grouped together. I think they were heading back. And the guy was telling me they'll come sometime right through the towns, heading back to the ranch, because it's the only way to get there. Like Etna is one of them. He said they'll come right down Main Street, walking back to the ranch. That's pretty cool. But, and he said, yeah, there is, and I saw a documentary. I can't remember what state it was. It might have been New Mexico, but there's a real big fight about the naturalist and are against all this free grazing, because they do destroy a lot of things. There are certain plants that the cows will eat. This was in New Mexico, I think. I think it was New Mexico. That they'll eat, that other wild animals survive on, and once they eat it, it doesn't come back. And that's why you'll see all these like just desolate places in New Mexico. All the plants are gone, and it's just dirt and rocks because the cows have eaten it all. So I know there's a big stink between the naturalists and the ranchers about that. And the guy in that was telling me it's the same way here in California. But so far, they're still allowed to have the cows free range these mountains. Because all the cow poop I've seen here lately has been all dried up. Uh-oh, I got me an intersection here. I think this is where I got to go off trail to get water. Trail. Water Dog Lake. Well, hell, which one am I supposed to take, you boneheads? Well, it's about 1 o'clock. I just hiked or climbed the second mountain of the day. Oh, Lord. It's going to be a tough day. 7,300 feet. Now it's going to take me back down to 6. And I got to climb another one. Well, I couldn't find the spring. Well, I did find it, but I spent 30 minutes, which I didn't have since I started so late. But I finally found it, and it was, you couldn't even collect the water. It was just right on the ground. So I'm gonna have a long day without water. There's a river coming up, but I think it was, I don't remember if it was either 8 or 10 miles from my campsite. So it will definitely have water. Just a long way time to get there. Had some pretty cool views though. Now I'm back in the woods going downhill. These uphills are killing me. I'm just not, I've said it a million times since some surgeries, I just don't have the strength to climb mountains anymore. I mean, I do, but it's just, I climb them, but it's taking forever. Either that or I'm not eating enough, or I don't know. But we're pushing on. Sun's got it. So when I round this corner here, it looks like I'm gonna have some new views. There's the trail. You can see it going right there. Well, it's 3 o'clock. Haven't done a lot of miles. It's been tough. I got about 2 miles to water. I just met a hiker. His name was Farrell, and he is my age, 61. He hiked the AT, started in January, finished in, oh Lord, was it July or June? I can't even remember now. And he came over and did the PCT. And he's got to get through Oregon. He'll be done. He started as a Nobo, and then he flipped up and went ahead and did Washington because he knew, he wouldn't have time he gets done. And then he flipped back down to NoCal, and that's where he is now, heading north. He also told me, I asked him, we were talking about wildlife because I hadn't seen anything. Of course, he's been on a lot more miles than me, but on this trail, he's seen 4 bears and 3 cougars. And I said, well, where'd you see the cougars? He said, here in NoCal. and he got charged by the mother. She had 2 cubs with her, and she charged him. And I said, "What'd you do?" And he said, he yelled like he did. He screamed or growled, and he said she diverted, and he had his pack off. He was taking a break, and she diverted and jumped and hit his pack, and then kind of ran back down the mountain some. And he was saying what he thinks happened was there were some other hikers behind him, and they had spooked her off, and they were coming, his way, the cougars, and came around a corner, and there he was. And her first instinct was just to charge him. And he was a very interesting guy, though. That is one hell of a feat to do both trails in 1 year. He said he's been planning it for 7 years. Wow. Can't imagine that. So he's going to do, wow, close to 5,000 miles of hiking this year. He's got, about 500 and something miles to go. He'll be done. And he'll make it. Well, who knows, though. He could have some snow issues in Oregon. But I think he's pretty determined. He'll probably finish it. But it was kind of a joy to meet him, talk to him. So I don't think I'm going to get very many miles in today. I ended up talking with him for about 10-15 minutes. He said there's some hikers up in front of me. He ran into Triple Whammy and Bear Butt the other day. And he said he doubted I was the last Sobo. He said everybody says stuff like that, and there'll be somebody behind him. But he said I'm going to run into a few more Nobos here within the next few days. Kind of like him, where they've skipped around and they got to get through Oregon to finish. They already did Washington. That's too much flipping and skipping for me, though. Like I said, I'd rather just do what I can do this year, and I'll just come back and finish it next year. So, got to find me some water. I'm getting thirsty, and I need to eat my breakfast. Couldn't eat my oatmeal this morning. So I just ate my lunch stuff, and I'm ready for some water. I forgot to mention when I was talking with Farrell, he finally, I said, "Oh, by the way, what's your name?" And he told me, and he goes, "What?" And I told him mine. I said, "Neon Tide." He goes, "Oh man, I've heard about you." He said, "You're the guy from Alabama that had kidney stones." That's amazing how other hikers tell stories. He goes, "Yeah, I heard about you." But yeah, he was like, when I told him I was gonna call it a year because it's just getting so cold and the days are shorter, and well, the Sierras are gonna be impossible to go through anyway. Nobody goes in there in the winter or November. But I told him I was calling it a year in Dunsmore and coming back next year. He was acting like he was disappointed. But he said, "Well, just make sure you come back next year." I said, "I plan on it." I said, "I want to see those Sierras in the fall." He said he went through it in August. It was beautiful. No bugs, because I've heard there's a lot of bugs in August, but he said it wasn't that bad. He said it was the most scenic thing he had seen on the trail. Both trails. It was the Sierras. So I will have to come back next August, finish up, because I'll have about 1,400 more miles, or about 1,350. I'll be almost halfway when I get to Dunsmuir. Not quite, but about 200 miles shy of the halfway point. And I was planning on going to attempt that, but once Don told me the weather's going to get cold. I mean, it's already cold at night, but getting real cold. That's just tough. So much harder to hike in when it's cold. You actually burn a lot more energy. So, God, I'm gonna be lucky to get 10 miles in today. May have to night hike. One of these nights I'm gonna have to, if I only do 10, 11 today, I'm gonna have to put some big days in. Well, a little update. It's about 5 o'clock. I haven't done crap for miles today. I think about 7.5, 8. Oh man, I've been so sluggish. Today. Well, I finally got to this creek and got water about 4:30. So I ate my breakfast, my oatmeal, and made this drink that had 200 calories. And I looked about campsites. Well, there's 1 and 2 miles, but that's not enough miles for the day. And then there's one at 5 miles, but it's on top of the damn mountain again. 7,200 feet. That's what I'm shooting for. So I won't get there to dark again. It's getting old. But that's what I get for not getting up in the morning. But I needed to sleep. I was exhausted yesterday. I think I slept 10 hours. So I'm actually going to set my alarm tonight, because I got to pick the miles up to make it to Dunsmore early Sunday morning. And I got to check the elevation, because there's, like I said, in a couple days I think there's a spot. You're in the mountains, but you're not climbing up every day. You're just on top. Man, it's a cool area. These big rocks up here. You can see forever. But yeah, one of those days or nights I may have to night hike. like eat dinner and around 5 and hike till, I don't know, whenever, 10 o'clock. Because I'm gonna have to have one big day to make up for today. Well, second night in a row, I'm hiking in the dark. Got about 1.5 miles to go. There's no, I might been on this ridge and it's just straight down, straight up to my left, no campsites. So I'm gonna have to hike to this one I saw on gut hooks. I'm not even gonna get there till 7:45. And I'm going uphill, by the way. Hear me panting. Probably doesn't look like it, but climbing from about 6,800 to 70, I think it was 72. So I'm gonna be up high again. But it's not, it's hard to tell because I'm moving. I don't think it's as cold as last night. So anyway, I gotta get going.